Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court. There's our civil docket for May 14, 2025. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all directives regarding remote proceedings. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. All right, Mr. Nanez, who is up first?
Page 1, Judge.
Mhm.
Calling cause number 2023 DCV 3621, Nicholas Franco et al. Versus Ray Con Construction Solutions LP et al. Announcements, please.
Steve and Lucy on behalf of the plaintiffs are ready to proceed.
Andrew Nelson on behalf of the defendants.
Good morning, gentlemen. I have us just down for entry of judgment. Have we received that?
Your Honor, we've not yet. So we've obviously settled. We're working on getting the checks. The checks are due, I believe, next week under the settlement agreement. Because of the way that it's structured, the checks are coming from two different sources. I believe the plaintiff has received the check from one of those sources, and I'm still waiting to get it from the other one, and I'm moving as quickly as I can on that. So obviously hoping to have that check soon, and then we can move on to finalizing the.
Are we spinning our wheels if we come back in 30 days, or do you need more time?
30 days should be more than enough, Your Honor.
That's what we'll do. We'll reset for 30 days. If you don't have anything else, you are excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, who's next?
Oh, me. Judge, on page 2, calling cause number 2022 DCV 0886, Eduardo Cabral et al. Versus My Universe Inc. et al. Announcements, please.
Good morning, Your Honors. Brendan Villanueva on behalf of the plaintiffs.
Carlos Rincon here for Landstar.
Daniel Morales for My Universe.
All right, is that everyone? Okay, so we are here for a final status conference. Looks like we are on track for our summary judgment and our specially set trial in July, unless you're going to tell me something different.
No, Your Honor, we are missing one party, RV Share. They're represented by Kemp Smith. I didn't hear them announce.
Oh, okay. So
they filed a summary judgment. In fact, they haven't said, I believe, along with My Universe.
Okay, let's see. Bear with me. Mr. Morales, who are you here? Who do you represent?
I'm here with I'm filling in for Mr. Hernandez for My Universe. Sorry, not for the Sings.
Okay. I'm failing to recall who's been appearing up until this point, even though I should remember. I should remember.
Sebastian
Nunez?
Yes, I believe he's been, but then lately it's been
Sebastian Uribe.
Sebastian Uribe. Everybody from that firm on this case is named Sebastian.
Sebastian? Well, that should make it easy, Mr. Rincon.
I know.
I'll just tell him to send over a Sebastian. Mr. Nanez, if you'll please check in with Mr. Uribe and Mr. Nunez's office and see which Sebastian can come in while we're waiting. Are we going to get into some things today, or are we on track? Is kind of where I'm headed here.
I believe we're just on track for the summary judgment, Your Honor.
Yeah, and we're also on track for trial. We've taken a lot of depots. We have more scheduled, but everything will be done by July.
Wow. Yes, Your Honor. We have taken and are still taking depositions, and we're working towards a July 18th trial date.
Well, we're expecting you. We're expecting you. You all have my calendar for almost the better part of July.
Your
so
Honor,
I hate to say that because then something's gonna mess up. Like I'm gonna mess up with something. But we have our jury panel. We've got everything. So
I was gonna ask Your Honor, how many jurors are you expecting to call in? Where will we be doing jury selection? And then how long do you anticipate giving each side for jury selection?
So sure, let's talk about some of those things. Let me go to, if I'm not mistaken, I did not request a larger panel because I think I asked you all, but Mira, we're set for the 18th? No, I do have us in Commissioner's Court that day. So that would tell me we have at least 100. Okay. We have at least 100. We usually kind of standard will request 120 when we're in Commissioner's Court, but frankly, Jury Hall has had so much difficulty filling our requests that I think last week, they were on one of our 120 panels, I think we only got like 108. And I'm good with that. I'm good with the space. I'm good with the number of jurors. If you are not familiar with how the setup is in Commissioner's Court, I would encourage you to get with my bailiff so that he can assist you in terms of utilizing the technology there and just seeing, going through the space in Commissioner's Court. But that's what we have. In terms of voir dire, I always like to hear from you all first, what you would like to have in terms of time on voir dire, and then we can go from there.
One question I do have is, do we do the general and specific voir dire all at once?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Judge, my voir dire, I should theoretically should be shorter than the plaintiffs.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of specific voir dire of veneermen because they speak in general terms, and then I come around try to clarify things. But an hour and a half, that's a lot of Q&A, and so that for the defendants, if we have more than one, we'll have to split it. I'm just thinking, do jury selection in the morning after you qualify them, try to get the jury seated. Do you anticipate starting with opening statements on the 18th of July, or would you punt that to Monday?
I would think it does make, so a couple of things. So I generally don't take a lunch, right? We don't break for lunch. We will take breaks. So no, we would do opening and everything on Monday.
Okay, and then finally, Judge, when would we get the jury sheets?
So that's been another thing, because Jury Hall has been working so hard to get these panels filled per our request. We're seeing them about 2 days out. Okay, might be sooner than that. Might be. I mean, it might be Monday or Tuesday. But what I can tell you is, the last week we had 2 Commissioners Court panels, Thursday and Friday. We actually got Friday's jury sheets, I think, on Tuesday. And then we got Thursday's jury sheets either late Tuesday or Wednesday. And that was the panel that was short. So they come in very late. Okay. I mean, they come in later than maybe we all like, but that's just what we have.
So we won't have a problem seating a jury judge on Friday. There will be no problem.
Okay.
I agree with Mr. Rincon, like 1.5 hours or an hour and a half sounds good. Just because we have, there's 9 plaintiffs, so you have to go through, do you know any of these people? So just that right there takes up, some time, but about an hour and a half would be good.
Well, that's definitely more than I usually allow for, but honestly, I'm not one to I give you what you need so you can do your voir dire. Okay. Mr. Uribe, are you here for
Yes,
someone?
Robert Chair. I apologize for the delay.
Of course. We're talking about some specifics on jury selection, looking at our special setting in July. Again, I just encourage you all, if you have some special requests, obviously get with my bailiff in terms of whatever devices you're going to be using. Also be very careful, because those jurors will be congregating in the area outside of Commissioner's Court. So if you have folks coming in and out, just obviously be cognizant, because they really do spread out everywhere. The other thing that I do in Commissioner's Court, and this might be less important in your case, not sure, but for members of the public who would like to come in and observe, I do require that they check in with the bailiff at the door. And that's always, for my purposes, primarily so that everybody can have eyes on whoever's coming in. Sometimes there are issues with the folks that are coming in and attorneys want to express concerns. And so it gives you an opportunity to also have eyes on the individual coming in, but everybody will be seated in the far, far back of the Commissioner's Court. So all members of the public will sit back there. Tomas, what else?
Good, Judge.
I may have asked this last time, Your Honor, but does the court do a questionnaire, or does it have a position on the use of questionnaires?
If you want to talk about questionnaires, I suggest you confer with opposing counsel and get me a draft of something very quickly. I have not used a questionnaire, and I've only had a few requests on that. Have not used one. So
Yeah, I typically don't use them, Judge. And in fact, the only time I've ever seen them done are in asbestos cases, and it tended to drag everything out lots longer. But I'll check.
Just in terms of preference, Mr. Villanueva, I would say no, but I don't want to tell you no, because I don't know specifically like what your idea is and how it might make things more efficient. I don't know if I'm old school, but I just kind of think that, you know, we can accomplish, or you all could best accomplish what you need to, especially with the amount of time you're getting. And especially knowing that if we get a chatty group and it's really useful, you know, I'm not going to cut you off at an hour and a half. I might say you got, 10 minutes or something, but if it's doing what it needs, if your interaction is doing what it needs to do, it's going to keep going. Right. And I don't know that, a questionnaire helps, but I don't know, happy to talk about it later.
Yeah, and I was just asking, Your Honor, just to inform the rest of my trial team their position. I don't anticipate using one, but just for the information. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure. What else?
That's all we have. That's all Lancer has at this time. Thank you, Judge. May we be excused once the hearing's over?
Sure. Anyone else? If not, Monday.
I just want to confirm the MSJ is set for the 11th of June.
That's what I have down. I know there was a scheduling change there. So yes, we're 11 June at 11:15 a.m. Our final civil pretrial is on the 18th. I think that's something I was going to bring up. Do we really need the final civil pretrial? I mean, not that I don't want to see you all. I'd love to talk all kinds of things with you all before the trial, but if I don't need to bring you back on the 18th.
Judge, one of the process of getting ready for this trial, so we probably have taken approximately 40 depositions. Mm-hmm. We anticipate probably 45 plus witnesses. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of page line designations of depositions that I sense are going to be marked. Mm-hmm. I'll speak to Mr. Villanueva and other counsel about coming to some agreed timeframes. On exhibits, I honestly don't see this as a heavy objection to exhibits case. We've been all using the same exhibits. On liability, it's probably 20 exhibits. On damages, a lot of medical records. Mm-hmm. It's the only special request, that I'm going to ask for is because of the number of witnesses. I would like a heads up as to who's coming the next day, at some reasonable hour. That way, because literally 40 witnesses, mm-hmm. I don't want to be dealing with that. I don't think we're going to need any special accommodation to take people out of order. But we've been working very well with opposing counsel, and my hope is we can get all this worked out. We may be able to avoid a pretrial. There's motions of limine. I don't know if Your Honor wants to drill down into some evidentiary admissibility issues and advance the trial. Do you really want to do that a month out, or would you rather do that maybe after the jury is seated, or what would be your preference?
Well, one of the things on the civil cases that I like to utilize the docket call for some of those things. And so just looking at the calendar, my inclination is to have that docket call be in person.
Okay.
that's going to put anybody out too much. And I think we should go into any substantive matters that need to be heard outside the presence of the jury, even if it's just kind of logistics and, getting our organization in place. I think it's useful to do.
Okay.
If
And like I
that's-
said, Judge, we're going to be able to agree to a lot of stuff.
Great.
So
And so is it too much for anyone to do that in person, the docket call on the 16th?
No, it sounds great. I think it's a good idea.
Let me check, Your Honor, just because I don't know out of the top of my head. What time on the 16th?
Our docket call is at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
But
I
you're
don't
local,
see.
right, Mr. Morales?
I am local, but it would be Mr. Hernandez that would be showing up. So that's why I'm saying, because I can speak only for my own efforts. I don't see anything on Mr. Hernandez that would prevent him from attending, but we will have to wait and see.
Anticipated it's going to be in person.
Yeah,
So-
and I don't see anything that at this time that would bar it, that would bar him from making an appearance.
Your Honor, one quick thing, one of the claims that's pending against my universe is a contractual indemnity claim. I think we'll get a motion to sever that from the main body of the case because it has to do with indemnity, and I think it's something that needs to be decided as a matter of law. So we'll take it up. Hopefully these nice folks won't have to be there for the trial, because I think that gets severed out.
Well, let me just put this out there. Anything so I'm not changing dates. The only thing, so I'm not canceling that final civil pretrial. The only thing that will change on the schedule for now is that the docket call will be in person. I'd like to bump it up a little bit to like 9:30 if we can do that, because I'll still have my.
Your Honor, could we get some latitude from Your Honor on the documents that are typically brought for the final pretrial? Because we're still doing depositions, and
Latitude in terms of what, like more time? What do you mean?
more time, and because I'm in a jury trial in Midland, June 2nd, oil field case, and then in a truck wreck case in El Paso on the 23rd. And I can work with counsel, but I think if we get a little bit more time, getting closer to the docket call, maybe early July, to get me time to get all the exhibits physically copied, because I think I'm going to be deep in trial mode.
Let me ask Mr. Villanueva, Mr. Morales, Mr. Uribe, does anybody have a real heartache about moving the final civil pretrial to July 9th?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe Mr. Hernandez would have issues with that. He actually has another pretrial would be set around the same time.
Okay.
But Judge, we're going to move to bifurcate or sever that claim out. So I don't think you have anything to worry about.
The court is going to move the final civil pretrial to July 9th. So we will cancel out the 6/18 setting and move it to July 9th. It will be on Zoom at 10 a.m. Unless somebody asks for in person. And it's close enough, I think. I think that gives you enough of a window and gets us close enough to trial to where things will be in order.
Judge, so the final pretrial is now July 9th and it's by Zoom?
Yes, 10 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Your Honor.
At that final pretrial, we're expected to, argue the normal things in the scheduling order, like motions and limines and things like that.
So this is what I'll tell you. If you want those things heard at the final civil pretrial rather than the docket call, please send Ms. Hernandez an email with the request to have these things heard, and we'll add them to that setting. Either of those settings, July 9th or July 16th, okay? Only you all know what you have and what you want to talk about and when the right time is given those dates.
Okay, Judge, we appreciate your
I'm here to help you out. So I think the schedule should work. And like I said, we're on track. I'm glad we do. I thought we had a smaller panel. We do have a bigger panel. Believe it or not, we might need it. So we should be covered.
Okay.
Again, I'm just jinxing everything left and right. All right. What else?
That's it. That's all we have, Judge. Appreciate your flexibility. We know how busy you are.
No worries. Thank you for the heads up. good to go. If anything comes up, let us know, okay?
Okay, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Take care,
Thank
guys.
you, Your Honor.
Bye-bye.
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 All right. Next.
Page 3, Judge, top of the page, calling cause number 2024 DCV 3321, Terry Breeze versus Brenda Lopez. Announcements, please.
Your Honor, Mark Davis for Terry Breeze. Ready?
And Taffy Bagley for Brenda Lopez.
Good morning, Council. We're here for a scheduling status conference. Let me ask, how are you all doing? And do you need a trial date? Do you need a bench trial date?
Yes, Your Honor, we need a bench. I think we should. I don't know why we haven't settled this already. Probably my fault on the plaintiff, but it's a very simple case. 25-year statute of limitation, adverse possession.
Miss Bagley, bench trial?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like a request for mediation.
Okay, that's a good.
Judge, I'll agree as long as there's hope of, I don't want to use as a delay tactic. I do get to mediations and find people make no reasonable offer. So I'm in, but I don't want
Okay.
to use delay
Do
tactic.
you all have a mediator in mind that you can agree on?
Anyone you suggest, Judge?
I'm good with that too.
Okay, so we'll do Carlos Cardenas.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And I've heard, I don't know, I've heard that there's a little more flexibility in terms of scheduling than maybe some of the others. So I'm comfortable saying 60 days
That's great.
with this mediator. So we'll do an order, Myrna, with Mr. Cardenas, deadline 60 days, and I'll give you a bench trial 30 days after that. Okay?
Fantastic. Thanks, Judge.
How much time do you need? Half a day?
Yeah, half a day, maybe even 2 hours, but better put it for half a day.
3 hours bench trial, and then we'll get the order mediated. So I'll get the order filed, but get working on the scheduling. Hopefully that one's better. If the scheduling is terrible, obviously, if you all agree to someone else, go for it.
Thanks. And Ms. Bagley, if you give me a call, if there's any barriers, maybe we could work that out.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, who's next?
Page 3, Judge, calling cause number 2024 DCV 3086, Jamel Leon Davis versus Opportunity Center for the Homeless et al. Announcement, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Manny Morgan for plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor. Manny Kalman for one of the defendants, at least the Opportunity Center. I'm working on the assumption that there was an entry of appearance.
Let me see.
Your Honor, we submitted a motion to sub, an agreed motion to sub this morning. So we're going to be taking over for the Opportunity Center.
And your name is, ma'am, for the record?
Alyssa Guerrero. Apologize.
Alyssa Guerrero. I don't see it, but let me see. I don't see it. Might be processing. We're here for a status conference. Let me go back to Odyssey. Give me a second. Okay, so Mark Pedregon, let me see, was he served? Yep, he was served 5/5, but probably. Yeah. Okay, we're set for a status conference, but it looks like Mr. Pedregon was served after our order setting hearing. So, and it looks like it was just recent. What normally I would set you for a trial track, but how about I get an update, some kind of status? Has anything been happening in this case?
Judge, the main issue is we've been trying to get Mr. Pedregon served, and that officially happened on May 5th. And so now we're just hoping that someone files an answer on his behalf. So I would suggest maybe a status.
Yeah, we're going to reset for 30 days for a scheduling status conference. Ms. Guerrero, if you'll double check on your motion to substitute, I don't see it, but like I said, it could be processing. We'll reset for 30 days just for a scheduling status conference, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. It looks like my office sent it to my.hernandez. And if that's not how we're supposed to do it, this is our first time working with this court. I apologize.
So I know
I did receive that, Judge. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, perfect. So it's coming. All
Thank
right,
you.
we'll reset and we'll see you next time.
All right,
Yes,
thank
Your
you.
Honor, because as I said, I was doing a pro bono for the Opportunity Center, and
Understood.
candidly, at this stage of the career, after listening to what Mr. Rincon went through, I'm glad I don't try cases anymore.
It's not that bad.
Oh, it's that bad. Trust me.
Thank you for appearing. And again, we'll be reset for 3 days.
After 40 years, I think enough is enough.
Have a good day, sir.
May I
Thank
be
you,
excused?
counsel. You may.
May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Who's next?
Page 3, Judge, calling cause number 2024 DCV 3097, Joseph Vishaway versus Laura Orozco Gomez. Announces, please.
Nicholas Thomas for the plaintiff.
Mike McLean for the defendant, Your Honor.
Good morning. Scheduling status conference. Do you all need a trial date?
Yes, Your Honor, we need a trial date.
Okay. So let's get you scheduled. I hate saying 2026, but it's going to be 2026. Bear with. Oh, I know we have civil weeks now designated. Myrna, how is April 17th? Is that a good date?
That's available, Judge.
Okay. So we'll do April 17th, 2026. We'll get you the scheduling order. If you select your mediator, include it on the order and return it to us before the entry hearing for that scheduling order. You don't have to appear and you'll have your dates. Anything outside of those dates, please request your hearing via email with Ms. Hernandez with your pleading, please, and we'll get you your hearing. Okay?
Okay. Would mediation be mandatory?
It is. It's part. I think your deadline will be the day before the final civil pretrial. Like I said, if you put your mediator on there, feel free to go to mediation anytime you're ready, but certainly before the deadline. Okay?
Okay, sounds good. And then as far as the pretrial conference or docket call, when exactly will that be?
So the docket call is normally the Wednesday before the Friday jury trial date, which is our jury selection date.
Got it.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing further here, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for appearing. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Who's next?
Judge, page 3, calling cause number 2024 DCV 3013, Margaret St. Cyr versus Drill Tech LLC. Announces, please.
Good morning.
Robert Skipworth on behalf of the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Christina Sanchez-Callan on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
Good morning, counsel. Mr. Skipworth, I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time.
I've missed you.
Well, we're back. All right, let's see. Scheduling status conference. This would be just my time to say you all want a trial date, and I'll get you everything that I just said in the previous hearing, unless you're going to tell me something different.
I think a trial date probably would be good to help us focus a little bit more. We're currently trying to get the depositions of the plaintiff, the plaintiff's doctor, and a representative of the defendant.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, we're in agreement for a trial date.
Okay, we'll use that same date unless you think April of 2026 is not enough time. That's kind of just my standard. I think it should be okay.
I think that works.
April 17th, 2026. Again, we'll get you the scheduling order. If you'll agree to a mediator, return the scheduling order. Don't have to show up for the entry of the scheduling order hearing. And then we'll get you your standard dates. Anything outside of those dates, please just request your hearing with Ms. Hernandez, okay?
Okay.
And I apologize. April 26th is what you said, Your Honor?
Well, April 17th, 2026.
Okay, sorry, I heard the 2026.
I might have said that. It's possible.
That's all right. Thank you. Maybe
Thank
be
you.
excused.
You all may be excused. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Bye-bye. Okay, next.
Page 13, Judge,
Mhm.
calling cause number 2024 DCV 3942, Frederick Graff versus El Paso Healthcare Systems LTD. Announces, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good to see you, Damian Rasmussen on plaintiffs.
Gary Norton for Las Palmas, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor. Noel Gaddis for Mark Bracken for Dr. Friday.
Good morning, gentlemen. Scheduling status conference. I hate to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to tell you April 17th. And I think you've heard it twice now.
Let's do it 3 times, Judge.
All right. Anybody have an issue with that date?
Let me just check one thing, Judge.
Sure. I have other dates. It's not like it's the only one.
I just had an order here on my desk and I wanted to make sure it wasn't that date, so it's not. So-
Okay. Let's try the 17th again. Your docket call will be the Wednesday before. We'll get you the scheduling order. If you agree to a mediator, please agree to a mediator or else the court will order one to put it on the scheduling order. Anything outside those dates, make your request with Ms. Hernandez. Is there any questions or anything else we need to discuss?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
No, Judge.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May we be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you too.
Who's next?
Page 13 also, Judge.
Mhm.
Calling cause number 2025 DCV 0622 Lincona Insurance Group LLC versus EMV Transportation LLC. Announcements, please.
Hello, my name is Alexander Lawson for plaintiff Lincona Insurance Group LLC.
All right. Anyone here on behalf of EMV Transportation? Is there anyone in the waiting room, Mr. Nunez?
No, ma'am.
Okay, bear with me because I think I did have an email on this one with the order. Okay, we are set for default hearing. Mr. Lawson, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Essentially, like the final default judgment says, it's a no answer situation on the part of defendant EMV Transportation. I have a couple of dates I can run through, which sort of shows plaintiff's attempts to get into contact service, all that kind of thing. So essentially, to start off with, on January 8th, LIG sent a final demand to EMV for all the amounts due for the premium down payment and the procurement of policies on EMV's behalf. On February 6th, LIG filed the suit for breach of contract and suit on the sworn account. Fast forward to our default judgment motion, attached to which, as Exhibit A, we have a ROS, which lists the dates of February 18, 2025, February 20th, as service to the registered agent of EMV, and Exhibit B to the motion has our certificate of last known address acknowledgement, which corroborates the ROS. Exhibit C and D are the unpaid invoices declaration and the attorney's fees side of things is Exhibit D. Most notably, and if I may share my screen, Your Honor. Thank you. Let's see if it actually works this time. Okay, can everyone see?
Sure.
Just to confirm, can everyone see my screen? It should be a PDF.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So on April 2nd, lead counsel on this, Jacob Stevens, sent a letter acknowledging the order for the hearing today and specifically providing that, further degree of notice. We have the confirmation here, which is dated to April 8th. So as far as plaintiffs are concerned, we've gone through all of our boxes and made our good faith attempts to serve the original petition and the default judgment motion on defendants, but as of yet, no answer.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Mr. Lawson?
That's essentially it, and the proposed order, which should have been filed with the court previously, but there's a copy of it, and that's what it looks like too, essentially.
And I have reviewed that. We did receive that via email. The court will admit plaintiffs' exhibits A through D and take judicial notice of all the documents within the court's file. The default judgment is granted. I have reviewed the proposed order and will sign off on it and file it with the papers of the court.
Great. Thank you very much, Your Honor. May I be excused? Is there anything else I can provide? Any other
No,
information?
sir. We're perfect.
All right, appreciate
Thank
it.
you very
Have a
much.
good
Have
one.
a good day.
Bye now.
Who's next?
Sorry, Judge. Bottom of page 13, calling cause number 2024 DCV 2312, SoFi Lending Corp versus Valerie Waters. Announcements, please. Mr. Johnson, Mr. Mark Johnson.
I believe it's Matthew Clark.
I'm sorry, Matthew Clark.
Maybe.
He is here for that.
Let me see.
And I'm trying to raise.
Uh-huh.
I was also trying to get a hold of Mr. Webtap Judge for the other one that's left. I called his office. He's supposed to be getting on.
Okay. Matthew Clark, we're on your case, I believe. SoFi Lending Corp versus Valerie Waters.
Let me call Mr. Price's office, Judge, see if I can get him to get on.
Okay.
Hello, this is Matthew Clark. Can you hear me? Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir, we can hear you, Mr. Clark.
I apologize. I was fooling with the backgrounds.
Yes, sir. We just called your case.
No, I apologize about that. I promise I was here, Judge. So this is just a simple debt claim case.
Hold on a second.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chisholm, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you are here for the plaintiff or the defense?
Defendant.
Great, thank you. Be with you shortly.
All right. All right, Mr. Clark, you're here on, let me see, on SoFi Lending, right? So we are on the record in cause number 2024, DCV 2312, SoFi Lending Corp versus Valerie Waters. We are scheduled for a default hearing today. May I have announcements, please?
It's Matthew Clark, attorney for SoFi Lending Corp versus a defendant, Valerie Waters.
And do we have anyone, is there anyone here on behalf of Miss Waters? Anyone in the waiting room, Mr. Nunez?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we're set for default. It looks like you filed your motion back on March 18th. Mr. Clark, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a simple debt claim case. An unsecured loan was extended to Miss Valerie Waters. That loan was then defaulted on. At the time of default, damages were 21608. Today, we would pray for that amount. I believe it's, let me double check that that's a solid number. $21,608.50. Post charge off, there was a one-off payment of $1,000. So that's where we get the $21,608.50. So we had a motion for substitute service. They were served. As of today, there is no answer. We have our military affidavits and the SCRA showing that they're not protected under the Civil Service Relief Act. And let's see here. So we can see we have a copy of the note, its terms, the amount dispersed, its interest rates. And today, based on preponderance of the evidence, our default that was filed, we pray for the amount to be awarded in the damage to, excuse me, sorry, everybody. $21,608.50 is the amount we pray for in damages, as well as our costs of court, along with any post-judgment interest at the statutory rate that the court finds to award. Thank you.
So did we not have an answer?
No, Your Honor, this is a default.
I show an answer filed on August 16th. Is that not? Yeah, my name is Valerie Heredia Waters. I am the defendant in this case.
Back in 2023?
2024.
I don't have a copy of it, but you know, defendant's not here today, so I'm just moving for default. But obviously, you know, whatever the court decides.
Yeah, that request will be denied at this time. We're going to set you for a scheduling status conference in 30 days. I think, Ms. Hernandez, the answer was filed on August 16th, 2024. Go back. Let me see what kind of, it's a little bit of a, kind of like a form answer.
Right.
So let me see if she included her contact. Is she listed on the contacts, Myrna, for service and things like of that nature?
I'm looking that up, Judge.
Thank you. Oh yeah, she has her.
Yeah, we've served her, and she did make a payment of $1,000, but that's all we've had so far.
Okay, well, the default is denied. So we're going to set this for a status conference. Let's make sure that she is listed because I don't know if she is listed on the e-contacts. And then we'll go from there. Okay.
Absolutely, Judge. And the court will be sending out the notices to both parties, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Yes, ma'am.
Judge, and there is an email address there for her, so I'll.
Oh, so she
send her
failed
note.
to appear. Okay. All right. I'll note that
Superb.
she failed to appear and we do not have an entry on her behalf. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you very much. We'll see you at the scheduling conference.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Judge. If I may be excused till then.
You may. Have a good day.
Hey, thank you.
Any luck with Mr. Huerta?
Judge, I called his office a couple of times. They keep trying to find him. They said he was on his way here in person, but he has not shown up here. And I told him it was on Zoom to have him log on as quickly as possible.
Mr. Chisholm, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you been in touch with Mr. Huerta?
I have not, Your Honor. It's my understanding that my adjuster settled this case with Mr. Huerta, but has been unable to get the signed release back.
I'm sorry. You said, Mr. Nunez, that he's in the building?
That his office said that he was planning to attend here in person, but he has not shown up here.
It was set at 10:15. Let's go ahead and call it real quick. Calling cause number 2024 DCV 3836, Barbara Portillo versus Selena Ortiz. May I have announcements, please?
Your Honor, Mark Chisholm for defendant Selena Ortiz.
And for purposes of the record, we are conducting this proceeding over Zoom. It is 10:56 a.m. Our hearing was scheduled for 10:15 a.m. Mr. Nanez, the court bailiff, has made contact with plaintiff's counsel's office, and he has not appeared remotely. He is apparently in the building and is intending to appear in person, but he's not here now. So, Mr. Chisholm, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I'm going to set this for a dismissal hearing in 2 weeks.
Okay.
If we have some type of appearance by plaintiff, great. If not, anticipate a dismissal for whatever that's worth.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. May I be excused?
May have a good day.
Thank you.
Mr. Nanez, if Mr. Huerta appears, let me know. Okay. Other than that, I think we're done with the morning docket. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. That's all.
Beautiful. Thank you.